My name is Bibek Adhikari. I am your English instructor. In today's class, we are going to solve the reading portion of Unit 3, that is, an interview with a local business person. So, let's begin. We are now going to start the reading section of Unit 3, which is called Business and Commerce. And in this reading section, we have an interview with a local business person. The title of the interview is An Interview with a Local Business Person. So let's begin by reading this one. Some students of Grade VIII were assigned the task of interviewing a local business person for their school magazine. They went to meet the business person. He welcomed them, all 4 students, with tea and snacks. They told him why they wanted to meet him. The young business person, a self-made man, was happy and ready to answer their questions. Kamala, would you mind telling us about your childhood and primary education? Business person, of course. My childhood was very normal and happy. My parents were farmers, so they were very hard-working. Though they were uneducated, they sent me to a reputed school. They never said no to my request. Bedu, how was your school life during primary level? Business person, teachers were helpful yet strict too. We never felt bored in the school because there was a music class every day and library classes 3 times a week. Adequate sports materials also fulfilled the demands of all interested students. Ambika, were you particularly interested in any game? Business person, yes, I was interested in table tennis. Bimala, please tell us how you came to be involved in business. Business person, I had no such aim until my SLC level. When I joined the management stream in class 11, my interest in business gradually began to increase. My friends were mostly from business-related families. Kamala, could you tell us what business is? Business person, it is an activity supplying goods or services or both to people to make a profit. Profit is the sole aim of business. Service to society, however, should also be kept in mind. We are part of the society. We need to help develop it. Bedu, what is the most essential requirement to be a successful business person? Business person, there is not a single thing for this. Hard work, politeness, perseverance, and tactfulness are the basic virtues in business. Capital, investment, and the market are the infrastructures necessary for business. Ambika, how do you manage your personal and professional life? Business person, it's not difficult for me. My wife helps with my business, so she understands its complexities and does not interfere with my job. My parents help us to look after our children. Bimala, do you think you could explain the relationship between education and business? Business person, yes. Education paves the path to business. Education teaches us to do anything easily and properly. It makes you practical. We cannot learn business strategies and etiquette without education. Trying to manage a business without good education is just like trying to cross a deep river without knowing how to swim. So this last section is where the business person is comparing the way of managing a business without good education to crossing a deep river without knowing how to swim. And this type of comparison is known as a simile in English literature. So what that means is 2 distinct, objects are compared. It is something like A like B, or it could be also something like A as B. So whenever words like and as are used to compare 2 distinct objects, this kind of literary device is known as simile. So a simile is used there. Kamal, if you had not been a business person, what would you have done? Business person laughs. I might have joined the police force. Bedu, lastly, what do you want to tell the students like us? Business person, choose a field where you are happy to work hard. Also work to benefit the future of your country in a positive way. So that's the advice. Let us now understand what this chapter is all about. Interview. The first 2 questions that we should ask before reading any text or before reading an interview in particular are, why do people conduct interviews? Another question is interview a good method to get information? So these 2 questions should be asked before solving, before reading the interview. These are called pre-reading questions or something on pre-reading exercise. Pre-reading activity number 1. So the two different questions you should ask before reading an interview is, why do people conduct interviews? Why, the people conduct interviews? What's great about conducting interviews? Another question is interview a good method to get information? So why can't we use another method? Why should we use an interview method? That is another question. And people should always ask, these two questions before conducting an interview. Since this text is based on business and commerce, people should also ask some other questions like, what is business? Another question is, how do people progress in business? So these two questions should be asked and answered before solving, the question, what is business and how do people progress in business? So these two questions should be asked. And maybe you can, use Google. Maybe you can go to your library, your school's library or your community library and find out why business is needed and how do people conduct business and how do they succeed in business, or sometimes how do they fail in business. So these questions are vital and they should be asked and answered. Right? These are pre-reading questions 2. Pre-reading activity number 2. Now let us go to the exercise section. The first one is called Ways with Words. All you need to do is match the following between two columns. We have column number A and column number B. You need to do the little match the following thing. Okay, what does the word local mean? Local is of a particular place. Good. Of a particular place. What does the word snacks mean? Snacks mean tiffin. Very good. Snacks mean tiffin. Sports. Sports means games. Correct. Profit. What does the word profit mean? Profit means benefit from a business. What does the word household mean? Related to home. Very easy. Related to home. Okay, the second portion that we have is called Read and Answer. The first question in the Read and Answer section is, why did the students interview the business person? So the answer to the first question, why did the students interview the business person, is they interviewed the business person because they were assigned with the task of interviewing a local business person or simply a business person for their school magazine. That was the reason why they interviewed the local business person. Another question is, were the business person's parents educated? So what about that? Were they educated or were they not educated? What do you think about that? The business person's parents were not educated. They were rather hard-working farmers. Correct? Sounds good. Easy as that. Another question is, what was the game he most liked at school? And it was table tennis. Table tennis was the game he most liked at school. Another question is, how does hard work help a business make progress? Because hard work teaches you the virtues that are needed to be a successful businessman or businesswoman or business person simply. So we solved question number C and question number D. Finally, we have something in question number E, which is what happens when you try to manage business without education? It's like crossing a river without learning how to swim. Something like that, right? Okay. Last segment is called True and False. Let's solve that. So I'm including here only 4 questions. The last question is, education helps a business person to be successful, which is true. And I'm leaving that question out. So let's start by solving these 4 different questions. The first question is, 3 students went to see the business person. Obviously false, because more than 3 went. The parents of the business person were also in business. Again false, they were not in business. They were simple hard-working farmers. The business person studied in a poorly facilitated school. Very false, because he studied in a reputed school. Although the parents were uneducated, they left no stone unturned when it came to the education of their only child. The last one is, every business activity is for profit making. True, it is for profit making. Although the sense of society is there and society is thought about while doing business, but sole purpose of doing business is profit. With this, we have come to end of today's class. Now I'm going to give you some homework. Your homework is to act out the different roles of business person, Bedu, Kamala and Bimala. You can do it in your class or you can do it in your home. You just need to find some people and you need to act out the different roles. So that's for your homework. It's very easy. The purpose of this homework is to help you understand how, drama is done, or how one act play is performed, or how you can improve your speaking skills, stuffs like that, right? With this, we have come to end of today's class. If you have any questions or suggestions regarding this video series, feel free to write us at learning@deerwalk.edu.nb. Thank you.